So I'm going to try to make actually simulated concrete out of epoxy for a table that I made. So I am going to show you, I did a test piece, and I'll show you what that looks like if I can flip this camera around. So here's the test piece I made. Kind of looks like concrete, minus the shine. I'll have to hit it with like probably some 500 grit sandpaper to kind of scuff it up and give it a matte finish, but that's the look I'm going for. This is it's cut to size right now, the tabletop I'm doing. All it is just cheap OSB board, and then I just slapped on some gray, rolled on some gray paint, and that's what I'm starting with. And then I'm going to go to epoxy. There's the resin and the hardener right there, and then basically four cheap cans of paint right there. And then if you do it in the right combination, you come up with something that finishes like that right there. Kind of looks like concrete. So anyway, I'm gonna give that a shot, see how it goes. Okay, so here's how you do it. Let me see, I'll start out with maybe black.
Probably good enough for black. We'll go over to white. Gotta be careful with the white because it's pretty strong contrast. That's probably good enough. We'll get a little bit of gray. Actually, I think I'll finish it with gray. Just a little bit of brown. Just a little bit of brown in here. You can fast forward through this crap if you want. And then do the gray. I'll make this black up here. Starting to look like something, I don't know what. We can only do a little bit more brown here. And finish up with some black. Why not? Alright, I think that's probably good enough. Is there enough white in there? Maybe a little bit more white. Where's the white? Where's the white? Put the white in there. Alright, that's supposed to look like concrete. It'll look better once I get the epoxy on, and then I'll do this all over again and just kind of fog the piece with various colors.
All right, so now I've mixed up the epoxy here, 50% resin, 50% hardener. You gotta mix this stuff for a long time. I got basically 16 ounces of each in this container, and I'm just gonna dump it on basically. Dump it on and spread it around. Hopefully I made enough. I don't know. This is my first shot. It's I think I paid like $100 for total, or $50 for a gallon of resin, $50 for a gallon of hardener, and I'm probably only using about 1/8 of all of it. so you can get a lot of mileage out of a couple gallons. I'll spread this around. This is just a mud trowel for sheetrock. Oh man, I hope I made enough.
Let me take this. It says little V-grooves in it. See that? That's kind of what you want. Just
Okay, so I smeared the epoxy all over, and it's just kind of settling now. It's self-leveling. So it had a bunch of streaks and lines in it from that V trowel, from the grooves in that trowel or whatever. But it should all level out. I feel like I'm light right there. I gotta fix that. All right, so I've spread the epoxy all over it, kind of slopped it around. You can still see some grooves over in there, but that should settle and level out. I don't know if you take a close look, you can see like little air bubbles. So I got to get those air bubbles out. They're kind of sporadically spread throughout the piece of wood. So to remedy that, you use a torch. And just kind of go over it, pop some. All right, now that the epoxy's all on, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it one more time with these guys. Ugh, stuck.
very precise, as you can see. Then I'll do the other ones and I'll be done.
All right, back in the garage again. The first coat of epoxy didn't cover so well. I came up a little bit short and thought it would just smooth out, and it did a pretty good job, but it was not satisfactory. So I put on another coat. Just make sure when you're mixing up epoxy, you mix up enough. Always mix a little bit more than you think you might need. So now it's all shiny, and I gotta hit it with some 1000 grit sandpaper with my $15 Harbor Freight special, or little sander. All right, bye shine. product. Simulated concrete, epoxy. And just gonna drop it right in there. There was another top in there, some flooring. We're gonna swap it out with this. Still have to glue it down in there.